Hey friends, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a chill one. We're not building just yet. I'm in resource gathering mode right now, prepping to remodel our little hidey hole into a proper hobbit hole. This will be our first real home, so I want to make it feel warm, magical, and just a bit whimsical. I've been watching a lot of build videos lately, getting ideas, picking up tricks, and I've finally settled on a plan. But to get there, I need a lot of cherry wood. So today we'll be planting and chopping cherry trees, gathering vines to make mossy cobble later, and looking for some clay to turn into terracotta, specifically magenta blocks, which I think will give it that pop of color. Let's take a minute here to plant the new crops we gathered in the last episode. Now we've got carrots, potatoes, and beets, and we even found some pumpkins and melons. So let's get all those in the ground today too. I like to plant in alternating rows to help everything grow faster. Not sure if that's true in real life, but I do know it works in Minecraft. We'll also get some of the tree saplings we gathered into the ground and then head over to chop down our nearby cherry trees. While we do all of that, I thought we could chat about something close to my heart, the benefits of video gaming for both older adults and for kids. Let's start with older adults. It's easy to think video games are just for kids or teens, but honestly, more and more older folks are getting into it, and there's a lot of good that comes from that. First, the brain benefits. Strategy games, puzzle games, even relaxed sandbox games like this will help with memory, coordination, and decision making. They're like mental workouts, but fun. But also, there's the emotional side. Games give people a sense of purpose, something to enjoy and a way to connect with others. I've heard stories of grandparents playing online games with their grandkids every week. It becomes this bonding ritual, something everyone looks forward to. And then there's just the simple joy of doing something playful again. That childlike curiosity doesn't go away. We just forget to make space for it. Now, on the flip side, kids. There's always concern about screen time, which is fair, but games done right can be incredible for development. Minecraft's a perfect example. Kids learn planning, creativity, spatial reasoning, and even resource management. Like me today, figuring how much cherry wood I'll need, thinking ahead for terracotta accents and deciding what kind of vibe I want for the build. That's problem solving. Multiplayer worlds, great for teamwork. Redstone builds, great for logic and systems thinking. And beyond that, games teach resilience. You fail, you try again. You get curious, you explore. That mindset is so valuable in life. Story-based games are also great for building empathy and perspective, understanding characters, making choices, thinking about consequences. What's really beautiful is how games can bring people together, especially across generations. The grandparent and grandchild can hop into a world like this one and build side by side. One plants trees, one gathers vines, one shapes terrain, the other decorates, and both learn from each other. Let's take a minute here to do something I've really been meaning to do. Frame our very first tool from this world, our wooden pickaxe. It might be worn out and not much use anymore, but it marks the start of everything, and I think it deserves a spot on the wall. While we're at it, let's put up our clock too. It's always nice to be able to glance over and know if it's safe to head out or if we better wait till morning. And let's make a little wooden sign to label our hidey hole. It's nothing fancy yet, but it's ours. We'll definitely update it all once we turn this into a real home. But I love making these little small touches along the way. They make the space feel more alive, like it's starting to become our own. Next up, we're getting some cows into the farm. We've got the hay ready from what we've grown, but as usual, they just do not want to go into the fence area. They always get stuck at the gate. So we're going to switch hands here, take out one of the fence posts and try to lead them in that way. And there we go. They're in. Now, let's go gather some cherry wood. While we're up here, I want to grab some of these little pink flowers too. They'll be perfect for decorating around the house. We'll collect as many as we can and then head over to chop down our first cherry tree. Hopefully we'll get a sapling from it, so we can start replanting and build up a steady supply of cherry wood for the hobbit hole. Now let's gather this sheep. We spotted one pretty close by and there's another one way off in the distance, so the plan is to bring them both over to start up our little sheep farm. First, we'll lead this one back to the fenced area. Hopefully it cooperates and doesn't get stuck on anything. Once it's safely inside, we'll go ahead and eat a bit of food since we're getting a little low on hunger and we've still got a bit of walking to do. Next, we'll head out to find that second sheep. It's a bit of a trek, but once we've got it following us, we'll bring it all the way back over and get inside the pen too. Then we can finally feed both sheep as well as the cows we brought in earlier. That'll give us the very start of our animal farms, which will be super useful later on for wool, leather, and eventually food. It's a small step, but it's exciting to see the world starting to fill out with life. We got caught out after dark on the way back home and, of course, ran into some questionable characters. First, a skeleton popped out from behind the trees, and then a whole zombie horde came stumbling in right after. I had to make a run for it, straight back to the house, and quickly jump into bed to skip the night. Now I'm just listening to them burn outside while we wait for it to be safe again. As soon as the coast is clear, we'll head back out and get right back to work. While we wait for things to quiet down outside, let's take a minute to expand our little storage area. We've definitely outgrown these chests, and with all the resources we're gathering for the Hobbit Hole build, we're going to need way more space soon. So we'll go ahead and craft a few double chests and start reorganizing. Give everything its own place, clear out some clutter, and make it easier to find what we need when it's time to start building. Now we're off to gather that clay from the nearby riverbeds. We'll be using it to make terracotta for the build, specifically for those magenta blocks we talked about earlier. I'm pretty sure there's enough clay close by to get what we need, so we'll just follow the river, scoop up whatever we can find, and bring it back to smelt. It's one of those quiet, satisfying tasks that makes a big difference once we start putting the build together. Back at the house, we're finally smelting those clay blocks into terracotta for the build. We're aiming for magenta terracotta, so we'll dye it next using magenta dye. I actually did make a bundle for the first time in this world, to help manage my inventory, and I'm still figuring it out since it stacks a bit weird, but I'll get the hang of it. I also brought back some tall magenta flowers, and here's a trick. Any 2-high flower in Minecraft can be duplicated with bone meal. I've already converted some of my extra seeds into bone meal, so I will use that on the flower, and then boom, extra magenta dye for crafting. We're heading out to grab some vines from the jungle tree we grew from our last 4 saplings. Actually, our only 4 saplings. I'm hoping we can recover enough to plant another 2x2 giant jungle tree. Saplings are pretty stingy on jungle trees, so I'm going to stick around and let the leaves decay naturally. Vines are easy. Just shear them off and replant them on most surfaces for decoration or to craft mossy cobble, which is our goal here. That's our first sapling. Now 3. And wait, is that one up top? I'll pillar up and see. Yes, I see it. That's our 4th. Perfect. We've got the vines, and we've got just enough to keep the giant jungle trees going. Let's head back to the farm and get these crops harvested while we pick up our conversation about gaming and its role in everyday life. Nothing like tending to the fields while diving into how games shape the way we relax, connect, and grow. Games give families a shared language, something they can enjoy together that's interactive and creative. Unlike watching a show together, gaming means you're doing something. You're solving problems, telling stories, making memories. Even just having a shared goal like gathering cherry wood for a hobbit hole makes the experience richer. Whether you're 7 or 70, gaming taps into that same sense of adventure and creation. In the next video, we'll finally start building out the hobbit hole, laying the foundations, adding texture, shaping the entrance. I want it to feel round and cozy with natural colors and just a little pop of magic from the magenta. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I know this wasn't a build video, but I love these quiet moments, gathering, reflecting, and talking about what games really mean to us. Whether you're new to gaming, an old school player, or thinking of introducing someone in your life to it, I hope this gave you something to think about. Until next time, stay safe, stay cozy, and happy gathering.